get a load of that. Happy Monday. Alongside Tyler Foljam, I'm Joe Fortenbaugh. This is Bet. That is the Eiffel Tower, not the real Eiffel Tower. So if someone tries to swindle you in some bar bet that it's been moved, like the Statue of Liberty.
The mountains in the background didn't give it away, perhaps.
Paris, not very mountainous in the urban areas. Tyler Foljam, Joe Fortenbaugh, welcome to the show. The NBA Draft props. Monday Night Football and a little movie night action. Spoiler alert, we've already eaten most of our popcorn.
Where'd your popcorn go,
Producer
brother?
not happy at all. Spent all this time setting it up, and I've already eaten well down into
I do like the cute little popcorn cartons.
we got our names on it and everything. If you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter, thank you very much. If you want to check us out somewhere else, youtube.com/ESPN Sports Betting. It is where ESPN is migrating all of its sports betting content because it is Monday. Every Monday, we like to play a little game called Reaction or No Action, as you can no doubt see behind us. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah. Let's jump right in, baby. It's Monday. The grind starts now.
All right. The Saints and Packers both won this weekend. They moved to 7-2, followed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are at 7-3, and the Cardinals, the Rams, and the Seahawks all now sit at 6-3. Saints quarterback Drew Brees, however, expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks minimum with multiple fractured ribs, as I point to the general area of a rib cage, and a partially collapsed lung suffered in Sunday's win over the San Francisco 49ers. Reaction or no action? There is no favorite to win the NFC.
I'll take reaction to that because I do think that it is.
Are you still eating the popcorn?
Yeah, I think some just kind of just came out of my mouth. So sorry about that, Mom. Sorry about that.
Just found out
Weimer.
2 minutes ago he's doing a TV show today.
But the popcorn's so damn good.
It's
the cheddar.
delicious.
It's just the cheddar. There's no caramel in there. It's just the cheddar, and it's delicious. My reaction is yes, there's no clear-cut favorite in the NFC. I see about 5 or 6 teams that all are very good, but there is potentially a fatal flaw in the if they get to the postseason. My top 3 teams in the NFC: Buccaneers. I think they're one of the most complete. When Tom is right, that offense is really good. We know how good the defense has been. Despite the injury to Drew Brees, I'll wait and see. If he doesn't come back, if it is Jameis Winston the rest of the way, I will dock them and maybe move a team like the Cardinals or the Rams up. Green Bay at number 3 because I still think the best quarterback in the NFC, pound for pound, Aaron Rodgers. As good as Kyler Murray is, as good as Russell Wilson is, Aaron Rodgers is my GOAT. He's the Patrick Mahomes of the NFC. They have the issues on defense, but with him and Devontae Adams, they're in any game. New Orleans is kind of like the hybrid between them. Their offense, obviously, Drew Brees, is he a game manager now? But Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas back on that defense, they're pretty good. Not Buccaneers good, but they're certainly not as bad as the Packers.
Congratulations on your Survivor selection. You won yet again with Green Bay. Not exactly an easy one. The
last few have just been. I'm taking like 2 touchdown favorites here, and I'm sweating this in the fourth quarter.
All right.
WTF.
My 3 looks similar to yours, twisted up a little bit with a splash of lemon on the side. Tampa Bay, you hit the nail on the head. The most balanced team in the conference. The Rams at number 2. Now, a lot of people might say, well, that's because they beat Seattle yesterday. I've been on the Rams for a while. They've got 3 good losses at 6-3, or at least good losses as I see them. A tight one at Buffalo, another road game at San Francisco where they lost to a Niner team that was much healthier than they are now, and at Miami, which was a horrible travel spot off a Monday night game against a Dolphins team that's turning out to be pretty good. Rams in 2nd, the Saints in 3rd. The Drew Brees injury, alarming, but look at the upcoming schedule. Hosting Atlanta, at Denver, at Atlanta, at the Eagles, and then the Chiefs. They're going to be the favorite all the way up until week 15 when they host the Chiefs. And then even in that spot, they could be the favorite if Drew Brees is back. So I think they're going to be in pretty good shape there.
Yeah, I might be kind of emotionally hedging against my Rams, not wanting to jinx them. They are.
It's all right.
I don't know if their offense is as good as it has been in recent years, but this is the best defense Sean McVay has ever had. And defense travels. When you have Aaron Donald who can pressure quarterbacks, and then Jalen Ramsey and Darius Williams who can dominate, cover receivers, take the ball the other way. They have kind of a good recipe on that defensive side. Would like to see Jared Goff be a little bit more consistent, though. That's it.
Jalen Ramsey erased DK Metcalf from that game yesterday. Erased him from that game.
2 catches, 28 yards.
Reaction or no action, number 2. Miami.
Yeah.
The Dolphins now 3-0 under rookie quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, who threw 2 touchdown passes in yesterday's win over fellow rookie quarterback Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers of Los Angeles. Reaction or no action?
Right.
Tua's going to win Rookie of the Year.
I'll have a reaction to that. I don't think he will, but I don't think it's silly to wonder if he can. There's still 7 more games that he will play, and Miami by far is going to have a better record and be a more likely team to qualify for the postseason than either the Cincinnati Bengals or the LA Chargers, the teams of the 2 principal competitors he has for that Rookie of the Year award, Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. They're out in the lead right now, Herbert and
Burrow.
Burrow, pardon me, I wanted to say Lawrence there, thinking
You wanted to say
already,
popcorn.
I wanted,
is what you wanted to say. You wanted to say popcorn.
already thinking of Trevor Lawrence winning it next year, but Burrow and Herbert, they're going to put up better stats. But what if Miami passes the Bills and goes in these next 7 games, goes 5-2, and Tagovailoa is 8-2 as a starter and has decent numbers on a per-game basis? On a per-game basis, if they're in the same ballpark as those other 2, I think he'll have a legitimate chance if that's the scenario that plays out.
He's got a big mountain to climb, hurdles to overcome. The most he can do is make 10 starts. Burrow's going to make 16. Herbert is going to make 15. You got Joe Burrow completing 65% of his passes, playing in the AFC North, which is absolutely brutal. Justin Herbert's completing 67% of his passes, playing in the division with the defending champs. And then here's Tua Tagovailoa completing 63% of his passes, playing in the AFC East, which might be considered a little bit easier, although the Patriot win last night changes things up a little bit.
I agree with those.
You got to put up big numbers. Right now, 5 TDs, no INTs, which is good. Passing yards down a little bit. I'm going to go no action on that one. So, number 3, reaction, no action. We switched to the National Basketball Association as the point god, Chris Paul, was traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder on Monday. In exchange, the Thunder got back a bunch of players, including Kelly Oubre and Ricky Rubio. They also have a draft pick. Phoenix Suns is what I meant to say. As I try to keep all this, I'm staring at the popcorn. Major distraction. Chris Paul to the Suns in exchange for a bevy of players, including Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, and a draft pick. We will get to that in just a moment. Reaction or no action? Chris Paul is a bad fit for the Phoenix Suns.
I have a reaction to that, and that's wrong. Chris Paul's a good fit on any basketball team. Chris Paul is a criminally underrated all-time point guard. He hasn't been on a team that has won a championship, but that's not because of Chris Paul's efforts. Chris Paul is one of the most efficient point guards to ever play, and Chris Paul is someone who immediately goes to teams and makes them better.
Look at that.
When he was drafted by the Hornets, they eclipsed their Vegas total in wins by 16.5 when he's a rookie. He goes to the Clippers, and they miss it by a win or 2.5 wins, but that was a strike-shortened season that he still won 40 games. Goes to the Rockets alongside James Harden. They clear their total by 9.5. Goes to the Thunder. Thought he was being shipped to Siberia, basketball Siberia. The Thunder aren't going to attend. They made the playoffs.
They were good.
And eclipsed it by 11.5. What'd you tell me we had as a total for the Suns right after this news?
Here in Vegas, I saw 38.5 for their win total.
Hammer!
Remember, they only play 72 games this year.
Hammer the over. I think this is
huh?
going to be a 40-win team. I don't think 50 wins is in the realm of possibility, but a 40-win team, I think they can be 39-33, a 40-win team above 500. Devin Booker is ready to make that leap into elite stardom. DeAndre Ayton is going to turn into an efficiency monster next to Chris Paul. Think about what he did for guys like Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Tyson Chandler, Clint Capella. Did he play with Capella for a little bit there in Houston? Yeah, he played with Capella for a little bit there in Houston. So think what he's done with those big guys. And now he gets a freak like Ayton, who's young and has someone who can take on the scoring and kind of initiating offense bulk in Devin Booker when he needs to rest his legs a little bit because he is 35. They won every game in the bubble, 8-0. I'm bullish on the Suns. I'm going to go over.
I'm intrigued. Not as excited about this as you are. He's 35 years old, and I see him as a bridge to a destination and not the actual destination himself. He's battled a lot of injuries over the last 4 years, and he's the type of guy that can come in. He's one of the smartest basketball players we've ever seen. So between that intelligence, the command, the presence he brings to the floor, what he can teach guys on the road as they travel together throughout the course of how many months, he can make them better. He can bridge them from where they are now, which is irrelevant, to a legitimate contender. But I don't think he is that destination. There's still more that needs to happen. The one thing that worries me here is the pace and the style at which Phoenix will play. Phoenix was 9th in the NBA in pace last season. Pace is essentially a metric that measures how many possessions you have per game. The more possessions you have, presumably the faster you're going, and the more shots you get up, the more points you can score. Phoenix was 9th last year. Oklahoma City was 21st. So it's a slower team with Chris Paul.
Sure.
And we saw this before with the Houston Rockets. Houston was 27th in pace 2 years ago with Chris Paul.
Right.
They were second last year. So the team's going to slow down a little bit. I'm interested to see how that works.
One thing that happens when you get Chris Paul and you slow down, though, that I think the Suns will need to account for, and they're not necessarily Monty Williams, their coach, is not known for his defensive schemes. Chris Paul's still a good defender, but when you play at a slower pace, you need to have a good defense as far as efficiency. So let's make that happen if you are the Suns. Try and find defensive players to put around Paul.
Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears laying 3 with a total of 44.5 against the Minnesota Vikings. As Chris Berman would say, the NFC Norris
the black
division.
And blue division.
Tell me what you think about this. Some people buy in, some people don't. Kirk Cousins, the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, in his career is 0-9 on Monday Night Football.
You don't say.
Do you buy into that?
I hadn't heard. I do buy into it somewhat. I do think it's a fluky stat to a certain extent, but I do think there are legitimate reasons that this trend is what it is for Kirk Cousins, most notably probably playing in the divisions that he's played in, most recently now the NFC North. There's been some tough road places to go play. Against the Bears at Soldier Field, like tonight would qualify. Going to Lambeau also would qualify. And when he was in the NFC East, going to Dallas, going to Philadelphia, going to the New York Giants. Those are some tough places to play. But
not exactly the best example given how they're playing this year.
100%. The NFC. He got out of the NFC East at just the wrong time. Should have stayed there. And boy, I tell you what, you might be in the MVP discussion playing those defenses. But this defense he will play, the Chicago Bears, I think can help make that more likely to make that trend continue, as fluky as it may be. Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks can get after the pass rusher. They have cornerbacks and Jalen Johnson, the rookie, and Kyle Fuller, who can take care of Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, make their lives more difficult, make them less efficient as far as being pass catchers. And the Dalvin Cook's on fire right now with back-to-back 200-yard games, but the Chicago Bears in recent years have kind of had Dalvin's number. They're a run funnel defense because they're so good against the pass. You want to try and attack them with the run. They're not bad at that, but it's the weaker part of their defense than their pass defense. But Dalvin's kind of getting bottled up by this defense that they've had the last couple of years. So I don't know if that trend continues or not. I would still try and feed Dalvin Cook if I am running the Minnesota offense and have him beat the Chicago Bears. But I like the Bears in this one. As a matter of fact, I like them so much, I'm going to bet them on the money line.
Bet them on the money line tonight.
I'm going to bet them on the money line tonight. A home dog in Chicago, it'll be called. Kirk Cousins not going to have a good game.
I feel as if I know you pretty well, and I'm thinking if I ask for some prop bets, you might be willing to give me a waterfall of them.
Okay, well, I already am giving you that the Chicago money line, plus 170. I love that.
Love it.
Here's some prop bets. Allen Robinson. Okay, Chicago's got to score if they want to win.
Penn State.
Anytime touchdown scorer, plus 138. This is what Minnesota defenses have allowed to alpha wide receiver ones this season. Devontae Adams has 5 touchdown catches in 2 games. When they played Seattle, DK had 2. When they played Atlanta, Julio had 2. When they played the Houston Texans, Will Fuller had 1. So they get cooked by alpha wide receivers. I like him. Plus 110. Now, see, it's come down a little bit. I'm not even getting the value I got when I submitted this last night. Kirk Cousins, I'm saying he's going to have a bad game. So how about over a half an interception? Just got to throw one. We're getting some good return on that investment and under 222.5 pass yards at minus 115.
I like it. I'm going to join you on this one with a combination of picks on my own. I am going to play the Bears plus the 3 points tonight, and it plays into a lot of the reason that I'm going to give you for my favorite pick tonight, which is Dalvin Cook under 90.5 rushing yards. Cook, as you've explained, has been a monster in recent weeks. But throughout the course of this season, when you take a look at Cook's games against really bad defenses, in fact, the times he's eclipsed 90 yards this year, which he's done a handful of, he's done it against poor defenses. He's done it against Tennessee. He's done it against Detroit. He's done it against Green Bay. He's done it against teams that rank 20th or worse in opponent yards per carry. The Bears rank 8th in opponent yards per carry. And I think the plan here tonight is going to be to try and limit Dalvin Cook, to shift the onus of the game and the burden of responsibility to Kirk Cousins to win it, which is exactly where the Bears want this game to be. I will play the 3, and I will also play Dalvin Cook under 90.5 rushing yards. The NBA draft is on Wednesday night, and for some help on that, we're very happy to be joined now by Dalen Cuff, ESPN college hoops analyst. I got to start with this. Nice suit.
Yeah, suit
Love
game
the pocket
is
square.
legit.
The eyes are popping. The eyes are popping, my friend. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me, guys. Now, I would say I was doing another show. I see you guys are dressed down. I would prefer not to be wearing this suit and pocket square, but we have these protocols here. We got to wear Gotta wear suits and stuff.
We're just schlubs. So you keep looking fresh like that.
Believe it or not, this is dressed up. We come in barely sweatpants to begin with. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the content because there's a lot we'd like to ask you. I want to start with this. ESPN's mock draft and the current William Hill Caesars odds for the top 3 picks in the draft are at odds with one another, so to speak. Odd makers are saying LaMelo Ball is the favorite to go first overall to the Minnesota Timberwolves, but the ESPN mock has Anthony Edwards going first overall to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, which direction are you going, Dalen?
Before I answer that question, I think it's interesting. I think we might have a reason this thing has moved. Might be the mock draft we did last Wednesday when LaMelo was revealed as number 1. When we did that show on Wednesday, Anthony Edwards, per William Hill, was the odds-on favorite. But I think that goes out. The public starts betting different things. It changes the situation, so now the shoe is on the other foot. That said, I would take Anthony Edwards. I think he has the lowest ceiling and the lowest floor and the highest ceiling out of this group. Guys, there's just such a little sample size. LaMelo Ball played 12 games in the Australian Basketball League before the National Basketball League in Australia before he got hurt and his season was over. He shot 37% from the field, 24 from the three-point line. He is very inefficient. He doesn't really he has a good feel for how getting guys involved, but he has to have the ball in his hands, has to be ball dominant, and I think he needs a lot better improvement in his shooting ability and his efficiency to be effective. Anthony Edwards is a freak athlete, straight up. He is an absolute freak on the level of like a Zion Williamson. Zion's different because he's 6'8", 230, 240. It's a different situation. But in terms of his raw numbers we've seen from P3, who does a lot of these assessments of great athletes in all different sports, he's up there in some of the best they've ever done. So this guy is an absolute athletic freak. He still doesn't really understand how to play the game, though, either. When you talk to the coaches like Tom Crean, who had him at Georgia, loves his intangibles, compares him to Dwayne Wade, who Coach had as well at Marquette, and Victor Oladipo, he had at Indiana, in terms of understanding what it takes, the work ethic, the commitment, the selflessness. And now he's got to learn how to play. His decision-making was a little behind. That's why he shot poor percentage. He took a lot of tough shots defensively. He started getting better, but doesn't quite get it yet on the defensive end. He's got room to grow, but he's got the physical tools, the body you want in the NBA, and he's got a good stroke that can improve over time with reps.
All right, let's move to the Golden State Warriors. Interestingly enough, they have the number 2 overall pick this year in this draft, and they're getting back Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson for next year, a legit contender in the West. What move maximizes their chance of winning in this window that they have? Keeping that pick and using it on a specific player, or trading that along with other assets to try and bring in an established star?
If James Wiseman is there, if one of these two, if the Timberwolves do take Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball, as many think, and Wiseman is there, then that pick would make sense. The problem, though, guys, is he's not going to give you the chance to win right away. He's a great rim runner. He's a great athlete. He's able to switch out and guard, in ball screen situations. His stroke is also good. He can develop it in a better range, but he's still very, very raw. He played 3 games in Memphis. That's it. He got 3 games before he had an NCAA issue and didn't play anymore. So, again, the sample size is so low. So if I'm Bob Myers right now, because it's a second pick, too, money does come into this. It's about $9 million, $8 million and change for that second pick in terms of your NBA pay scale. If you could trade down an 8, 9, and 10 pick, you could find a really good player to fit into your team and pay them between $3 and $4 million. And that's going to add up over the years. And right now, dollars and cents really matter to NBA owners because we may not have fans in the stands because of COVID. So those things factor as well. I think they could trade down and find a player that can help them right now, a veteran right now, to maximize the window. Steph's 33 years old. He ain't getting any younger. If you want to win now, I think you do trade down. But Wiseman would be the only option they would take in this draft right there at number 2.
You mentioned what the COVID pandemic has done to team and league financials. What has it done to the NBA draft process?
It's caused some problems, guys. This is interesting. They only had a month to look at players from October 16th to draft night, essentially, or right before the draft, November 16th. You can only see 10 guys. You have 10 visits you can set up for 4 hours. They can't work out with anybody else. And I can't tell you how important that is. When you talk to GMs, you talk to different guys that are involved in this stuff over the years, when you got to see a guy work out with other players and see the competitive nature and see what they did in a real physical environment, see how they want to take it to a next level, that's how certain guys come off the board earlier. Right now, you're just seeing one-on-0 workouts for the most part, and you're assessing workout warriors, and some guys look really great. The other part that's really important is we haven't seen these guys play a game since March. The recency bias does come into play. You can forget what you used to see or did not see or what was really lacking from November of March last year, and you can be really focused on this workout you saw in the last couple days, and that can influence your decision. So I think this has caused a lot of problems for GMs and for teams to figure out who the guys are, where they are, and where they should go. And last but not least, because this draft is very weak, and it's just really up in the air, so that adds the other element of surprise to this and confusion. It's been a very difficult situation for these guys already. In a normal draft year, with COVID, it's caused chaos.
All right, I got one question for you. For those who try to find sleepers somewhat in the NBA draft, I need one name and one sentence as to someone who could be in the back end of the lottery, mid to back end of the lottery, who has all-star caliber potential.
Tyrese Halliburton from Iowa State would be the guy that comes to my mind right away. He shot over 40% from the three-point line, over 7 assists a game, really creates, understands the game. As a sophomore point guard, was one of the best in the nation, really understands the game, can get guys involved, has a number of different floaters and layup moves to score around the rim, and as I mentioned, can knock down a three when his feet are set. He's really good off the catch and shoot. So he can play without the ball as well for a lead guard. I think that's a guy that a lot of people have between the 8 to 13, 14 range, the back end of the lottery. That could be an all-star without a doubt. The other guy, Patrick Williams, is just soaring up the draft charts from FSU, freshman that didn't start, but that's because Leonard Hamilton's system. Not only would start your best players, but he would finish a lot of games, 6'8", 230, NBA body. And I spoke to this guy a lot during the season and covered a bunch of his games. The first thing he said to me when I said, why Florida State? Because I wanted to come to learn how to play defense. And I'm a selfless guy. I wanted to learn how to play defense with one of the best defensive programs in the country. It didn't matter about my numbers. I don't care about them. I want to fit a team that wins. I want to learn to defend. And I think that's going to help me. That's the type of guy I want on my team. Not to mention the 6'8", 230 body with a good stroke, has really good vision, a very good passer. All these skills that are good right now could become great, and he's got the body and he's got the mind. Love Patrick Williams as well.
Great analysis, terrific suit. The eyes really pop. Dalen Cuff, ESPN college hoops analyst, showing us up here on Bet. Thanks, Dalen. Great stuff.
Later, fellas.
All right, I got a bet for you.
Okay.
I was degenning out on Saturday night going through NBA draft props, and I'm going to go under 14.5 for the draft position of Saddiq Bey. The 3-and-D wing from Villanova, who averaged 16 points per game last year and shot 45% from deep. His over-under is 14.5. We're going under 14.5 for Saddiq Bey.
I like that. 3-and-D, that's what teams want in the association.
Here we go.
Saddiq Bey, I'll keep an eye on.
All right, time for movie night.
All right, we get to eat the popcorn
movie
now.
night. The last time we did one of these, you and I think, missed on every single question last week. Now you're allowed to help yourself to the
worse than
popcorn.
I thought.
Yes, I was hoping I'd hit that. 5 questions for each of us. Here's how it's going to work. There are 10 movies we have to choose from. We'll show you those 10 movies in a second. I will give you a quote. You will give me a quote.
Right.
If you can name the movie, it's 1 point. You will get a bonus point if you can name the character who said it, not the actor.
The character.
I don't want to hear Tom Hanks. I want to
Gotcha.
hear
Right.
Apollo 13.
Right.
Here are the 10 movies we have to choose from, so
That
you have
wasn't
an
his name in
idea
Apollo 13.
of what you're working with. Yeah, what was his name in Apollo 13?
I don't
there
know.
You go.
It wasn't Apollo 13, though.
All right, there we go.
Some
A lot of
classics.
good movies there, a lot of classics. I got the first question
Okay.
for you. Are you ready as I go full Bob Barker? Or maybe we should do a tribute to Alex Trebek.
Yes.
The late, great
Trebek.
Alex Trebek, one of the all-timers. First question. The problem we're trying to solve is that there are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's us. It's an unfair game.
Would that be Moneyball? And would that be Billy Bean?
It would. It very much would, my friend. That's a two-banger right there, played by the always attractive Brad Pitt.
Bradley
Get him
Pitt.
off the screen. He makes everyone feel
He's a Missouri
inferior.
Tiger, by the way.
Yeah.
He didn't finish his education there.
You don't say.
He went and got famous. All right, number one for you, my friend. Woods or metal? The driver's known as the big dog. I'm just saying. Let him loose. Let it rip. Let the big dog eat.
That's going to be Tin Cup, and I want to say it's the caddy, but I don't know the caddy's name, so I'll just go Roy McAvoy. Oh, it was Roy McAvoy. You
It
said
was Roy McAvoy.
Yes.
You fell into one there.
I think Cheech was his caddy. I
was
wanted
gonna
to
say
say
Romeo.
Yeah, but
Cheech something.
Cheech in real life. Cheech and Chong. Tommy, not Tommy Chong. Cheech. All right. Question number 2 for you. 3 overall.
Right.
Quote, you can trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up. Sorry, Mom, they made me say it.
That, of course, is Happy Gilmore.
Boom.
And the character is played by Ben Stiller. He is the orderly at the nursing home.
I've been told that is okay.
Okay.
His name is Hal.
He's
Hal, but no one
orderly
knows
at- yeah,
that.
no one knew that.
That's
I
a
would
good
not
one. The producers and I went over that beforehand. Showing you a little grace. Keep that in mind for down the road here.
Number 2 for you. You see, Billy, it's like this. You either smoke or you get smoked. And you got smoked.
That would be my favorite sports movie of all time. Actually, it might be ranked second. White Man Can't Jump, Sidney Dean, played by Wesley Snipes.
That
Love
is
Sidney Dean in that movie.
correct. All right, we're hot right now,
right.
baby. We're hot this
For
time.
you, my friend, quote, This crowd has gone deathly silent. Cinderella story out of nowhere. A former greenskeeper now about to become the Masters champion.
Of course, it's Caddyshack. And the character played by Bill Murray, God, what is his name? All I want to say is Ty Webb, and that's Chevy Chase. Carl Spackler! Okay.
Is he getting credit for that? He got it, but it was already up on the
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have got it. I
would
said
not have
Ty
got
Webb.
it?
I was giving Chevy Chase.
All right.
Okay. Number 3, short and sweet. Basketball is like poetry in motion. Basketball is like poetry in
Should
motion.
have paid attention to the 10 movies that were on the screen. I have no idea who the character is. I don't know who the movie is either.
Wow. Right,
What is
right.
it?
It
Don't
is He Got Game.
He Got Game.
And it was said by who?
Would that be Jesus Shuttlesworth?
That would be
Yes,
Jesus
I know the
Shuttlesworth.
name. I have seen this movie.
That would be Jesus Shuttlesworth.
No, I should have
that's-
admitted that because I wasn't
stings
even
the
close to
nostrils.
getting either one's right. All right, here you go, buddy. Whoa. Some lady named Ruth. Baby Ruth.
That would be The Sandlot.
Correct?
And it is the protagonist's name who ends up being the best friend of Vinny the Jet Rodriguez and calling the Dodger games as they get older, and I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Such a nerd.
you're killing me.
Smalls! No, that's Smalls? Scotty Smalls.
Oh, she's not going to give it to you. The producers are not going to give it to you.
Okay,
I tried
that's
for the assist there. I tried to give
That's
you to
right,
John
you're right.
Stockton.
Number 4, when you get in a fight with a drunk, you don't hit them with your pitching hand.
Oh, okay, so that's Bull Durham.
Correct.
I remember the speech.
Correct.
It's the Kevin Costner character.
Correct.
I have no idea what his name. No, I have no idea what his name is. Roy
No.
Hobbs is the natural. Don't know.
It's Crash Davis. I was gonna try and tell you Crush Davis.
I kept thinking Nuke LaLoosh. Nuke LaLoosh is
He's the pitcher. That's Tim Robbins.
Yeah, Tim Robbins' character. All right. Well, usually you pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
That's gonna be Dodgeball.
Yes, it is.
And that's by what's his
Look at
name?
his hair. Jason Bateman
Jason
in real
Bateman
life.
in real life. What? It's not?
Not Salt.
I know. I don't know the character's name. It's God. It's bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it all plays out. I don't know his name. I don't got it. Oh, I'm not supposed to throw that one yet.
Pepper Brooks.
Pepper
Brooks.
Yeah.
You threw the last question.
That's all right.
This
I can
should
read it.
get interesting.
All right, here's the last question on the floor. I'm going to read for you.
All right.
Haywood leads the league in most offensive categories, including nose hair. When this guy sneezes, he looks like a party favor.
Major League, character played by Bob Uecker.
Right.
I'm not going to remember his name. I just realized I'm not going to remember his name. Harry Doyle.
Harry
Indians
Doyle
fans.
is
Harry
correct.
Doyle. I was going through the quotes in my mind. Welcome back to the show. Harry Doyle.
He's gonna need a rocket up his you-know-what to catch that one.
Take over, Monty. I'm in the back. All right. Parlay to Paradise. That was a lot of fun.
We're still here.
Parlay to Paradise. We are absolutely still here eating cheap popcorn because we did not cash this weekend. We actually can blame Keyshawn Johnson for that one. He was a celebrity guest. He missed right out of the gate. We must have been great, so you don't even need to show our picks. We were 8-0. We'll just assume
fine,
that
right?
we were 8-0. Keyshawn missed, so we went 8-1. Take it up with him.
Dag nabbit, Lucas.
So here we are. It turns out we did, in fact, have our misses. 2-2 for me. I'm losing juice on those situations. The Chargers.
Might as well just go 0 for 4.
That's what I get with the Chargers. You, my friend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Might as well just go 0 for 4.
You might as well just go ahead and get it done tonight. Go Vikings, I guess. Keyshawn took a shot as well. We could have won 20,000. We came nowhere. We need to start.
Can we
doing
talk
a
about my
reverse
eliminator
parlay.
record instead of Parlay to Paradise?
We should start doing parlay to prison and just do the opposite of every pick we're gonna do. Because this is just
Do the opposite of every pick. We
Oh
might
my
end up
God.
there. We might
All
end
right.
up in prison one day the way we're betting.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Well, it certainly won't be for tax evasion because we're not making any money, so it's not like we're
No,
going to have to pay any
tax
taxes on
evasion.
anything there. Baltimore is a terrible pick. Lamar Jackson, my God, when that team falls behind in a football game, they absolutely have no way of competing. They fall behind by Kansas City. They get blown out. They fall behind to the Patriots. It feels like they can't get back into these games.
They need help in the pass game. I don't know if Des Bryant's going to end up being a factor for this team, but they obviously went out and addressed that situation. You're right, though. If they're not in front, they have a hard time getting back in games.
That is a wrap for us. Thank you so much for checking us out today. We greatly appreciate it. Monday Night Football, ESPN, 8:15 Eastern tonight. It's the Bears and the Vikings. We'll see you Wednesday.